All right, here we go. We're going to open up Band in a Box now. When you open Band in a Box, it will default to a C chord in whatever style the last you saved and start playing. So we're just going to stop this, and I'm going to talk about a few of the buttons we've got here. Buttons everybody should be familiar with. New project, open an existing project, save your project, save it as. You can also save files as MIDI or WAV format. Just like your MP3 player, you've got play, replay, stop, pause, all the fun buttons to play with. All right, now styles. Band in a Box comes with a ton of styles. As you can see, we're looking at the jazz styles right now. Different time signatures, swing, even feels to them. We have pop rock signatures. Definitely a lot of blues stuff if you like playing blues. They got metal, country, different styles, everything from Willie Nelson to Grand Ole Opry, everything you like. All right, so on the bottom line here, we have the song title. So if you type a song in, you can name it. We have key signatures. We have your tempo. We have your measure markers where we can set the starting point, for example, measure 1, and the ending point, measure 32, and how many courses it actually plays through it before it stops and starts over again. All right, let's create a song. I'm going to put together a little practice track. Not a song, but just a way to practice this. And let's say you're learning A minor arpeggio, or you're wanting to work some scale ideas with your pentatonic scales. You can set it up for A minor 7, set your key, and then click on the first measure and type in your chord, A minor 7. Okay, we have the style button to pick our style. I like the jazz cool style, and I'm going to practice this for a while, so let's set 27 choruses, and always practice slow to make sure you're playing everything correct, and click play, and we're ready to start practicing. Now, unfortunately, my computer cannot play Band in a Box and record the overdub at the same time because they both use the same output driver, so right now it's playing an A minor groove with drums, bass, keyboards. In this post, we're going to put a couple of these tracks on there so you can go in there and hear what they sound like. All right, when you're finished practicing, if it's something you want to use again and again, save your file. That way you've always got it to pull it up and do whatever you want to with it. So we're going to save this. All right, we've got it saved. Okay, now let's say we're moving on from just practicing over a single chord and we want to create a progression to play over. So in this case, let's do a blues progression. We're going to do it in B flat. All right, and let me go ahead and type my chords in. At B flat, E flat, B flat. Now we're going to do a 2-5 going up to the 4 chord. F minor 7, B flat, and there's our E flat 4 chord. Now, if you noticed, I set it to 12 measures. This is going to be a basic 12-bar blues progressions to practice over. Finish typing the chords in. Done. Time to play. Click the play. Counts us in, and we can practice over blues now in B flat. And keep in mind, the good thing about this is that when you get a lot of practice in on a single key, you can change keys without having to type the chords in, just going in, selecting whatever the new key is that you want to play. So from this aspect, we have a blues progression in there, and it's going to wrap up the 12th measure. Let's go ahead and click stop. All right, so now I want to save this. Let's call it B flat blues. Let's call it basic 12 bar. All right. I'm going to click the save button. All right. Now let me show you one of the really cool things about Band in a Box. Besides just doing the progressions, there's also a ton of features you can use. For example, we've got a guitar tuner built in. So you can pull up the tuner, click tones, and as you can see, it has both guitar and bass tones. So if you need a tuner, just hit the tone of the string, match it by ear, and you're good to go. All right, speaking of ear, it also has a built-in ear training program for both intervals and chords. So let's click guess interval. Right now it's playing a couple of intervals for me. and I'm guessing the distance between the first note and the second note. If I remember correctly, the next note's going to be a major third, and then was it a major fifth? Yeah, perfect fifth. Anyway, you can play around with that. If you spend a few minutes every day working on your intervals, it'll do you a ton of good. Spend some time with your chord intervals as well. You can pick the root. You can set your options and what type of chords, and it'll play for you, and you guess the chords, and hopefully with time your ears get better and better. All right. So here's what we really like about Band in a Box. There are tons of songs out on the internet you can download that people have already spent time building the chord progressions and putting the melodies in. In fact, I'm looking at the real book right now, going through some tunes. Right now I'm working on a tune called I Could Write a Book, and if I can find it. There it is. And there is the chord progression for I Could Write a Book in C major. Tempo's 120. Beautiful song, really cool song. Now, if you notice, I'm clicking the Roman numeral sign right here, and that just switches between chords to the Roman numeral analysis to the solfege of the song and back to the actual chords. We can switch to an actual lead sheet to see the melody underneath the chords. I can go and look at the chord voicings the piano player is using for the tune, and actually comp with the piano player using some of these voicings he's using. Can also hit the bass line, seeing what's going on with the bass notes. And if you notice, it's got the tab to the bass line as well on top of it. So if you can't read music, you can only do tab and you're a bass player, you've got the tab built in for all these tunes. All right, so let me stop this. Let's change it to a different key. Let's do it in E flat. If you notice, it takes the whole tune, so I don't have to type everything over, and converts it to E flat for me. So now, once I get comfortable with the song in the original key, change it to a different key and get even more work with it. Good stuff. All right, so I'm going to close this out. Don't want to save it. I already have it saved. There you go, Band in a Box. It's a great tool to practice with. Lets you hear the harmony while you're practicing scales, or vice versa. Lets you practice harmony while the soloist